And we're back.
And we're back. Welcome to the Cavalry, everyone. I'm your host. I'm Johnny Beaner, and with me is my co-host Andrew Sleighter.
That's right. Thank you, Johnny, for that lovely introduction. Johnny,
You're welcome.
you mentioned before we came on the air here started recording that
Yes.
will we ever stop thinking of it in radio terms? I don't know. Who's to say?
I don't
But
think so.
you said I got something I got to get to right away. So let's
Well, it's
hear it.
not urgent, but I wanted to say,
The
if you're
floor is
listening to
yours.
this, it's been out over a week. Andrew Slater's got a new album, and I listened to the whole thing.
You did
I
not.
listened to the whole thing. I did. I listened
Wow.
to it. I listened to it on a run. Not the whole thing on a run because I didn't run that far. But then
That's
I finished.
dangerous because you just double over with laughter
I know.
and you
No,
could
it
get
keeps
hit
me
by a
going. It
car.
keeps me going.
Oh, okay.
And then I got home and I took the dogs for a walk. That's where I finished it. But I had seen Seinfeld on Friday night, and this was, I think, either Saturday or Sunday that I listened to your album.
Wow.
Seinfeld was great. Let me just say, Andrew Slater, untapped potential, better
Better
than
than
Jerry Seinfeld,
Seinfeld.
better than Jerry Seinfeld.
You know what? I've been waiting because I've gotten a lot of people have said like, "Oh, I'm gonna go get it. I'm gonna go get it." But you're the first one who's actually told me you listened to the whole thing.
Yeah.
One other guy, Zach Favorite. Shout out to Zach Favorite.
Oh, Zach, sure.
He said he listened to it too. So that's good to get good feedback. So thank you, Johnny. I appreciate
Of
better than
course.
Seinfeld. That's the bar I was shooting for. So
Yes.
um,
It was fun. It was fun to listen to because there was a lot. It was bits I knew that I had, I just knew, but then
yeah,
there was a
most of them you
lot
probably
that
knew.
I did not. There was a lot that I did not. I like the
Almost every bit on there was probably a topic at some point that I did
yeah.
on. They all seem very,
Maybe that's what kept me engaged as well.
yeah, that's probably why you were extra interested because you're like, oh, I remember this topic. Oh yeah, I backed him up on this. Oh, I got a good topic today too. Oh my god, I can't wait to get to it. But we'll wait. We'll wait.
I'm excited.
Well, thank you, buddy. That is a big compliment. It's hard to listen, even when it's somebody you really like and you really, you genuinely think the other person is funny. It's tough to sit down and listen to. Don't you feel a little resistance, like watching like a whole album, or a whole special, watching someone's whole special, for instance?
Are you talking about like when someone comes out on a special that I'm a fan of,
Yeah,
like
like
Bill
let's say it's
Burr?
a comedian you like or
Hmm.
personally, and they're like, I got my new special out. And of course you're gonna go, hey everybody, you should listen or what you should watch my friend's new
Yeah.
YouTube special. It's amazing. But then for you to actually consume it is like almost
Wait,
the
so are you
like
talking about me listening to yours or me
no, I'm saying
listening to the
any time. I'm saying it's a big
Oh,
compliment
sure.
that you did that.
Oh, okay.
Because I am
Well,
guilty of like I'll go, oh my god, everyone should go listen to should go see so and so special.
yeah.
This guy is hilarious, and then I myself may or may not actually get to it because like you just
Oh, right,
around
right.
comedy and you see so much comedy. But
Yeah.
that's all I'm
Yep. So I don't know. Do I say thank you or do I say you're
saying. No,
welcome?
you just say you're welcome. Yeah,
Oh, well, you're welcome. Okay. You said, well, that's such a compliment. And I wanted to be like, well, thank you.
yeah. You don't think. You say
Uh,
you're welcome. You're right. Yeah. Well, this is how we're like relearning basic human
communication.
social
Yeah.
interactions.
Where do you sit on Seinfeld as
I
far as
think
being a
Seinfeld's
fan?
very funny. He gets a
Yeah.
lot. I notice now, anytime any clip gets posted to Seinfeld, the first 1,000 comments are either he dated a 17-year-old when he was in his 30s, or his support for Israel over Palestine or whatever. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know what his official stance is on that, or if he's made words of support. But whatever. Those he just get so like people are just killing him. Not it could be like I saw a 30-second Instagram reel of him and Zach Galifianakis doing that between two ferns
Between
thing,
Ferns.
which is
Yeah.
obviously they're supposed to insult each other. Like that's the whole. If you're like not a
Right.
brain dead moron, you go into it, and this is going to be an antagonistic thing, which is where the funny comes from. And then
Yeah.
they get so defensive of Zach Galifianakis because Jerry Seinfeld's talking shit to him. It's like, what do you have you seen any of these before? Like it just drives me crazy. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think I find Seinfeld very funny, uh, and I really value all his like. I think like every time he's giving advice or like all the shit he says like about comedy, like I line up with 1,000%. Like just his
Yes.
approach, his attitudes about it. Um, Almost everything he
Yeah.
says is right as far as like stand up goes. Like you could do really good to just like do exactly what Jerry Seinfeld says to do in stand up, and you'd be pretty good. You know, I
Yes,
do
I agree.
think my only Seinfeld criticism is that he like legendarily writes all the time. It's got a great work ethic, but it doesn't seem that he like comes up with that much material.
Oh, for how much he yeah,
Like he
for
has like
writing 8 hours a day,
yeah,
yeah.
like he has a ton of material. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm sure he's got hours of
Yeah.
material. I'm just saying the standard now is not what it was in the 80s and 90s where you do like one special and then
Right.
you're just doing a sitcom and then I mean these guys are coming out with new hours every other year and I
Oh,
don't know how many
or every year, more than
yeah
every year.
how many Seinfeld specials are there?
I don't know. I mean, isn't he famously known for I mean, it's like, especially among comedians, for having the stance of like, "No, that's my act. I'm not gonna put
Right.
that on the thing, because
Well, that
then
was
that's
like
my act.
that
That's
was
my
a Leno
livelihood."
thing. Leno
That's what I thought too.
yeah, maybe and they're close, so maybe that's where they get it, but Leno famously had it down to a dollar amount what each joke was worth.
Wow.
So he could like he like figure it out like cuz he his year of doing like corporates and casino dates and stuff
Yeah.
and then he was like I know so this is my act and so he broke it down to like what each joke was worth. And so if he put it on television, he thought then it's burned.
Yeah.
So like the special would have to pay, and I don't think the special's ever paid enough to justify the dollar amount each joke. Something like that.
Wow.
I might be getting that wrong, but
Well, but to answer your question, Seinfeld, I think I mean, he's got wasn't his first special that I'm telling you for the last time, like his
right.
first, like,
Yeah,
so he
the
had
one
that.
everybody knows with yeah, exactly. Like taking a shit the water coming up at the when you're taking
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
bathroom at a friend's house. Yeah.
Yeah, like all of his old classics. And then there was that Seinfeld before Seinfeld, but that was like part stand up, part I don't know if it was documentary because it would cut to
Yeah,
like talking about
the
the
Netflix
club.
thing, right?
Yeah.
And it was like him showing at a club
Yeah.
doing old stuff and new stuff. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like there isn't like a ton
And
of
then there was
Seinfeld.
one more. He did a Netflix special. He did do a Netflix special where he like jumps out of a helicopter into the river at the opening, and then it's literally an hour special.
Oh,
It's something like Time to Kill or something like that. 30 Seconds to Kill. I don't know.
yeah, but I mean, like even like so, like to me, like the perfect comedian as far as like pace of specials is like Chris Rock. I think Chris Rock is like the
Mhm.
greatest because it's like he takes time in between, but then
Yeah.
he usually delivers something pretty relevant once it comes out, you know.
Yeah.
But Chris Rock
Sure.
has way more than that. I mean, he's been doing
Yeah.
comedy less time than Seinfeld, and he has like what? He's got to be like
Yeah.
6 or 7.
Yeah.
So that's my only Seinfeld observation. But no, I like him. I think he's
I
great.
like him too. I think he's great. I
I
will
just
say
never
this:
see
the
him
one
as
thing I
like
don't like, the one thing that like, and I never say anything, because I'm like, I don't want to be that guy. Like if I'm not among comedians. But when he
Yeah.
does the jokes where it's like, it's all about, it's almost like a Gallagher joke where it's like the word play where it's like,
Oh,
oh, I'm right hand, left-handed people, it's always a negative connotation. And then he gets on a
yeah.
really long string of like clever puns, and it's like, that was clever. I'm sure it was hard to come up with that. I don't think it's humorous. It's cute. It's cute is what it
Well,
is,
you know what it is when you're there live. Yeah, it's like impressive, and then it's like
Yeah.
satisfying. It's satisfying because it pays off. You're like, oh, there's another. Oh, and just when I thought he was out of them, he had one at the end. Ah,
Right.
but
Yeah.
it's not like something that sticks with you later. Like, oh my god,
Right.
I saw the funniest thing. You know what it's similar to? Like, and I know what you mean. And I think his version is better than the thing that I'm about to say, which is like the
Yeah.
George Carlin thing. Did you ever have a bit? I had one of these when I was early into stand up. And George
Yeah.
Carlin would do this thing where he would just kind of list things and there was nothing funny about it. He would just do like he could just say like 500 things in a
Oh
row.
yeah. And
Like
it's impressive.
and it's very impressive because the memorization and then
Right.
sometimes it would rhyme in the middle or there'd be like little alliterations, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
I had, I had one about like workout trends or something. And
Yeah.
yeah, oh, it's such a cheap little applause break, and it's
Yeah.
so shitty. And like,
I feel like every comedian has that at
I think
some
every
point.
comedian went through a phase where they did a list thing, and that's all Carlin's fault. But that's another one where it's like it's not funny. You're like, you go, wow, he did it.
Yeah.
It's like standing on your head, you know. I mean, whoa, I didn't think he could do that, but
Yeah.
it's not, you know, it's cheating.
Have you ever been like at a corporate show and you're like, oh, and you're like doing old bits, and you get started in one of those and you
You
forget
don't
and
know
you're
how
like,
to finish it.
oh fuck, I don't have, I haven't memorized, I haven't done my list bit in 2 years, and I just
Well, the list bit
started
is
my way down the path.
the list bit is bad as is bad enough, but not being able to accomplish the list is way worse.
you start it, you stumble, and then you bail. It's like, that wasn't funny or impressive.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, this guy's such a hack. He does a backflip on stage, and then you just keep trying to do a backflip. You can't do it.
You keep
No,
landing on your fucking
this is way sadder.
head.
But you know what's
Like I
funny is I'm working with this guy, is this cool guy, James Johan, and
yeah.
he openly said he's like, man, they keep adding clean shows, and I do not have that much clean material. Like I'm like running dry or whatever. And so they added these theater shows, and we had to, you know, do more clean stuff. And I saw him pull out a list. He closed on a list of it, and I was like, whoo! He must have been reaching deep in the well. But he nailed it. He nailed his list, so he must have been
That's
had to
funny.
use it
You
at some
bump
point.
into him in the buffet, and he's just going over the list bit, preparing to do an old
Yeah, he's
bit.
just looking at all the items: turkey burgers, turkey, turkey, fried turkey, Thanksgiving turkey, turkey leg, dark meat, white meat. We should like link to I like Carlin would be the best example. I don't know anybody else who's famous who's made a list joke like on TV or whatever. But
I'll send you the audio of because I audioed the Seinfeld, so I'll find it, because when he did one of those, because I like to send them to my brother and be like, oh god, so I'll find one of them and I'll text it to you, and we can link
yeah,
it to that.
yeah, it's you know at least the Seinfeld version they are like more joke, like they're laughs.
Yeah, I mean
It's not like
it
clap.
gets laughs.
Yeah,
I
it's
will
not like
argue.
claps at
I
the
will
end.
argue if you take it apart and I say, "Hey, show me the math of how that's funny."
I know the left-handed, right-handed thing because it's like you're left out. Everything left is bad. You're left out,
Yeah,
left behind, left.
He did. He had like
That's
three
why
of
he's
them at
great.
the
Is he has
show, and I was
more.
trying to remember. So I'll find one. But you know what I did think was interesting is because it was just fun to see him, just be like, oh, okay, this is Seinfeld. I had seen him before, but it had been a long time. And just to see him do things, because like we watch comics differently than other people.
Yeah,
So this guy's walking to the bathroom. He's like in the front, and Jerry. So many people shouted stuff out that you would think he had earplugs in. He's just nope. I'm not playing that game. I'm a
yeah,
professional. I'm
probably
not gonna.
smart.
So this guy is going to the bathroom, and he goes, "Oh, you just you're going to the bathroom." He's like, "Yeah, no, go ahead. It's fine. It's fine." And then he goes, and he was in the middle of a bit. He was in the middle of this marriage bit talking about wives, and he's like, "Oh, you go to the bathroom. That's fine. Go." I always, I always thought that was interesting. Going to the bathroom. That's something we all do, but we're ashamed of it. And I never understood that. And then he just went back into the bit, and I was like, I've been there where you're like, oh, let's see what comes out
Yeah,
of this.
yeah, yeah,
Nothing.
yeah.
Nothing.
You're almost mad at the audience because, like, well, if you had
Yeah,
laughed just a little, it would have given me the confidence to continue this train of thought.
right.
But you're just staring at me, so I feel like I have to go move on.
Yeah.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Well,
Yeah, my wife went and saw a comedian. She just like paid her friend, well, our really good friends across the street. So it was her, but then there's this other woman who's has a kid at the same preschool that Ginger goes to. So the three of them, and she's a fan. This other woman is a fan of this comedian, the Hamala Mamala guy or whatever. I think I was telling you about him, wasn't I?
oh, I don't know who that is.
Oh, well, I forget his name. I think he's British or something. But so
Humala
he's got
Mama?
no. It's that's just a bit he had, like a famous. He's like an Instagram guy. I'm trying to
Oh.
find.
Huh.
All right, should I look? Is it worth me? Do you care? I did not know who he
Sure.
was. I had never
Oh,
heard of
well,
him.
I wouldn't be surprised if I'm not going to know, but yeah, look him up.
All right, I can't look him up right now. But um, the point is she went to so she paid $38 to go to Helium, which is just the comedy club, regular
Yeah.
comedy club, with other, with these. And like,
Yeah.
I was like, should I try and get her to? I was like, I don't know this guy. He's probably on a door deal. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna
Yeah.
like try
Yeah.
to get her
Yeah.
a ticket. And then so she goes with her friends, and she was like, she's like, it's the first time and she used to do stand up, she's like, it's just bizarre, like sitting in a comedy club watching a show, like this is all for, she's like, it's the first show I'd been to that you weren't on,
Yeah.
or I wasn't doing in 20 years, and she's like,
Yeah.
people just, and it's like not the most enjoyable experience because you're like, you kind of see through it all.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting.
Like she was like, he was good, and he did a good job, but then afterward, like he was like taking pictures with everybody. So Heidi, I talked to Heidi today, and she's like, you should be better about that. You should like talk to audience members after shows and be more chummy and take pictures with them. And I'm like, if they want to take a picture, they can have a goddamn. No one's stopping them. I stand back there. Nobody wants the picture.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't want to be the one that's like, I will be
Who wants
taking
picture?
pictures. And then
Who
have everyone
wants
be like,
picture? And
what?
it's like, why? Why would I take a picture?
Are you famous?
No, they have to
Well, you
like, yeah,
just saw me do an hour of comedy. Yeah, but who cares?
yeah. Anyway, so
That's great.
I'll try that after my next show. I'm gonna say, "Who wants a picture?"
My
Huh?
wife said I should
My wife
make
says
myself available to you
I should
guys.
take pictures with all you idiots after shows, so you'll like me more.
Yeah. Oh God.
Uh, anyway,
Hey, remember last week when I was like, "Oh, I have a big funny story to tell you. I'm going to save it till next week."
oh right,
I have it here. We should have I just told it last week. I don't fully remember all the funniest parts, but I'll tell you the gist of it.
Okay.
So Phoebe, there's a kid in Phoebe's in kindergarten, and apparently there's a kid in her class that is in a motorized wheelchair, as disability. And Phoebe got it in her mind that she wants an electric wheelchair. And so she acted like she broke her foot. And she's like, I need a wheelchair. I need an electric wheelchair. And we're just like, oh well, you can't do that. It's just for special, that's for people with
Right.
disabilities. She's like, oh, I need, and she was fake limping around the house, just kind of limping. And so
Oh,
we
that's
would just ignore her. I just think like the next morning, we're like, oh, she forgot about it. And she's running around and, chasing Duncan and the dogs and all that. And she totally forgot. And then she remembered. So she starts randomly just limping. And she's like, and she did it right in front of me. And I didn't say anything. I was like, oh, good morning, Phoebe. She's like, Dad, do you see how I'm walking? And I was like, oh, yeah, well, yeah, I do. And she's like, yes, my foot. Oh, I think I need that electric wheelchair. And we're like, Phoebe, we just can't do it. You got to just go to school. We'll talk about it another time. She's like, "Duh, but I need it at school." And so me and Aaron were just like, all right, you know what? You need it at school. Why? Then you got to talk to the nurse when you get to school, okay? But we got to get going. So I get a
oh
text.
no.
I get a text at like 1:30 from Aaron that was like, "Hey, the school nurse just called me because Edie went there saying she broke her foot and that she needs an electric wheelchair."
Was the
So Aaron was like, "Oh, really?" And she's like, "Yeah, I have Edie. I have Phoebe right here." And my wife was like, "Oh, she's right there. Okay, can you take me off speakerphone for a second?" And then she was like, yeah, she's just being."
was the nurse like onto her before she talked to
I don't know
Aaron?
what she said. She said she's like, "Oh well, she said her foot has really been hurting her, and that she thinks like she broke it or she said
Wow.
something's wrong with her foot." So she like thought something was wrong with her foot, but then my wife was just like,
You know what? You
no,
should
she's
scare her
fine.
straight. I got a story for you that could scare her straight because my wife has
Oh,
horrible vision. You know, she wears really thick contacts, glass,
yeah.
needs glass. She needs LASIK, really, but we keep putting it off.
Thick contacts. Ugh.
Well, like the highest prescription contact, like she has really bad eyesight.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
she didn't used to when she was a kid, but she just wanted glass. She was like jealous of kids with glasses, you know? It was like kind of
Yeah.
cool to have glasses. So
Yeah.
she told everybody she needed glasses and they got her glasses and it kind of like she would use glasses, prescription glasses she didn't need. And then she thinks that
Oh.
like ruined her vision. And then she did need them,
Yeah.
you know? So you should
Yeah.
tell Phoebe, like, hey, if you sit in this chair, you may never walk
Yeah. You're gonna need it. Yeah,
again.
but she'd probably be like, "Yeah, I do need it, and I will need it forever. I know that's the plan, Dad."
Uh, I told you my thing about scooters. That's so funny, by the way. Kids are so funny. They're jealous of the kid in the wheelchair. Like it's like you should make a complaint to the school district, going, I don't think it's right that these kids come and flaunt their fancy electric motorized chairs in front of my daughter, and then now she's jealous and she wants one, and we can't give her one.
Yeah, we can't afford it.
Um, but I've told you the thing about like some on the ship, you see a lot of scooters, you know,
Yes.
but they're not
Yep.
people who need scooters when they're home. It's just there's so much walking to do from the hallway to your room, and so it's usually just bigger people who need like the mobility, like they can walk in their day-to-day lives, but this is too much walking, so they get these scooters that first of all they're not used to, so they're driving them into the walls and they can't turn around in them. It's a
Yeah.
chaos.
Yeah.
But then I always would say, if it were me and I was like a big heavy person, I'd be like, I just want the wheelchair, like the old fashioned wheelchair. Because that people
Mhm.
respect. People go, oh, an injury, oh, a spinal cord situation, or whatever, and you're just wheeling along, you know.
Yeah.
But a scooter, everybody's thinking like, oh man, you could probably use the walking. Why don't you just walk? You know?
Yeah. I totally agree. But they see, but maybe they're like, well, I could do that, but then I'd still have to push myself with my
Yeah.
arms.
What do I want? Ripped
Maybe I
arms?
will. Hey, Doc, do you have one of those like straw one I can drive with a straw in my mouth?
So I never have to move my arms.
Okay, I'll write a prescription for this, but it's very
All
important
right.
that you don't talk either because people will
And
know.
don't tell anybody, because then everybody's going to want a straw chair. You get to live the dream, but I can't do this for everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
All
great.
right. Well, that was a very funny story.
Ah,
Uh, what do you think? Topics? You
well,
got anything else?
sure, let's do it.
You want me to go
Should I?
first? I want to go first.
Sure.
You
If
want
you're
me?
excited about yours, go
I'm
for it.
excited about mine. Well, because
All
I'm
right.
up here in Alaska, and so you can guess how I've come to this. But fish and chips, overrated. Most overrated food of all time.
Oh, that's the topic.
Yeah, that's my topic.
Okay.
Fish and chips,
Fish and chips.
overrated. Maybe most overrated. Now, first of all, I don't know if you've noticed, but like when you eat fish and chips, it's always like when you're by the ocean or whatever. It's like there's some place near the water.
Is that the same? That's the same thing as like a fish fry, right?
Thought I forgot I was talking to some Midwestern boob.
Fish and, fish and chips and fish fry. It's the same thing,
Yeah,
right?
same thing. Yeah.
Okay. I don't mind being insulted, but at least
What's,
answer the goddamn question.
what's that? What's the fish? Ever pollock or paddock? Haddock? What's the fish out there? And that you fish
What's the
fry
what?
Wednesdays or fish fry Fridays that you always
Friday. Yeah, Friday
yeah.
fish fry.
But what's the fish? What's the fish that they fry? It's like some
Oh,
Midwestern
it
ungodly
depends on
fish.
the one. Cod. Um,
Walleye.
that's the only one I can think of. Walleye, maybe.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Okay.
But fish and chips, I think, is what most people know it as. Like in England, fish and chips.
Sure. And the chips is French fries.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
totally overrated. Now, first of all, you you always get it when it's like you're at the lake or you're at the ocean, you're at the beach. Here in Alaska, they're everywhere, because there's so much fishing, right? And they're
Yep.
like, oh, it's fresh halibut, fresh cod, right, locally sourced, right here, right out of the ocean. Then they
Yeah.
take. Let me tell you something. It tastes exactly the same as
Yep.
every fish and chip. You could go to England. You could go to Madison, Wisconsin. You could go here to Alaska. You're not going to know the difference where they caught that fish, whether they're frying the shit out of it. It's
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's white fish in the middle of a bunch of oily batter. It's fine, you know. It tastes if
Yeah.
you put enough tartar sauce on it, it tastes fine. It also is going to burn the roof of your mouth every time. It doesn't matter how long you wait, you will burn your
Yep.
mouth. And it's like horrendously expensive. They're like, oh, it's halibut. It's halibut, so it's like $28 for like four
Oh.
pieces of fish. And like, get the
Oh,
fuck out of it. I mean,
I'm not going to
I
do
don't.
that. I'm not going to pay that
Well,
much.
I know you wouldn't pay that, but I'm just saying, even if it was, so then you go, oh, do I want the halibut or do I want the cod? They taste the same. They're going
Yep.
to taste exactly the same. So just get the cheaper one. And in fact, don't get them at all. Just get, you know, anything else. But fish and
Now, see,
chips,
I agree with you.
overrated.
The different fishes, I just thought that was. I'm glad to hear you say that because I just thought that was a Johnny Beaner thing. You know, they all taste the same. Oh, well, you have a, you know, kindergartner's palate. But I'm glad to hear you say that. I will say I do like fish fries. They're fish and chips. But I'm not gonna say they're overrated. Sure, I'll say they're overrated. But I do still get them. But I don't know the difference between the fish, so I would always get the cheapest one if there's multiple options.
I honestly think I like just thinking about it now, like chicken fingers might be better. Like
Yeah,
honestly, you know what I mean?
get some ranch. Tartar sauce makes me. I would dry heave just at the smell of tartar sauce. So I always ask for ranch with my fish fries. But yeah, I would take chicken tenders. That would be a
Yeah,
comparable, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
chicken tenders. Yeah,
over
I think
fish.
that
Oh,
might be
for
better
sure.
than fried fish. So
Yeah.
that's my take. Is they've tried. You know, you don't fall victim to this because you wouldn't go to any of these little fish and chip stands by the water or whatever because they're so expensive. But like they tried to elevate it. You know, they're like, oh, it's fresh I think that's what bothers me. Oh, it's fresh halibut, right, caught right only 30 yards away here. But we fried the shit out of it, so you can't taste it, and your tongue is gonna be numb because you burn your tongue and it goes in your mouth. I was
Yeah,
like, I
it's
don't
not
see where you
sushi,
found
it's
it
fried fish.
from. It's fried fish.
Yeah.
So that's my take. Fish and chips,
Well,
overrated.
I'll back that up for sure.
All right. What do you
But
need
you
back?
st I mean, you still enjoy a fish fry?
Yeah, like okay. So if you can't tell, I had it today. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm getting over a cold. And yeah, it was good. It's fine. I mean, I
Yeah.
ate it. That's like my other thing. This is a bit I never could get to work, but like people assume you really loved your food because you ate it fast. Don't take it the wrong way. This could be actual garbage, and I would have eaten it just as fast. That has nothing to do with the preparation or how much I'm enjoying it. Thank you.
Right. This is
Sometimes if I
just
don't like
byproduct.
something if I don't like something, I eat it faster. So let's just get rid of this. Let's get this out of the
Yeah, just get
picture.
it down the hatch.
Yeah,
I agree.
I don't want to look at my failure of an order for the next 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Reminds me of,
I had it today. It's fine. You know,
was
you're
it
like
on the boat or was it one of those little on
no,
the
it was
at a
here in
stop?
Alaska, and it was like
Okay.
in Skagway, and they're like, "Oh, halibut! Wow!" And I fucking fell for it like an idiot. And I'm eating it. I'm like, "This is like, you no way you could tell the difference between this and Long John Silver's. There's just no way." And I'm way snobbier about food than you are, but
That's so funny.
I'm telling you, it's crazy to spend that much for. And I don't doubt it. I bet the fishermen are putting their lives on the line for this halibut. I bet it's hard to catch and it's expensive to get out there. But maybe you should just be leaving the halibut alone. Maybe it's not even worth. Maybe it's not worth all the effort because I can't taste. No one's tasting the difference. You know?
I would love to see what they say if like you eat it and then you tell them and you're like complimenting. They're like, "Oh my god, that yeah, I this is it's like I feel like I'm at Long John Silver's. That's how good this is." Just to see.
Yeah. Yeah. You say it in a positive way. I don't think you could tell the difference. Honestly, I don't think you could tell the difference between this and real Long John Silver's.
No.
You guys are that's amazing. I can't believe it. No one's. I'm gonna tell everybody back home. No one's gonna believe this, guys. I went to Alaska and I found it wasn't a Long John Silver's, but I'm telling you, it was just as good.
Did I ever tell you? I had a bit. I don't think I could ever get it to really work regularly, but it was like, and it was based on truth, where like I was telling Erin something she cooked was like It's
Oh yeah,
as good as something at Taco Bell. I was like, no, 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 no. You have to understand. I love Taco Bell. That's a
right.
compliment.
Yeah,
Uh,
that sounds right. Um, okay,
I'm backing you up.
I'm feeling backed up. What do you need backup on?
All right, here's what I need backup on. I don't know if we've talked about this or not. Anyway, so this weekend, Saturday, I had to take Phoebe to a friend's birthday party. I had a birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese.
Did she take
And
her
Aaron,
wheelchair?
no, she's over that. She forgot about it, thank God.
Oh,
Uh, and Aaron's pretty much gone to most of the like a lot of them. I mean, I've gone to some, but I was like, you know what? I'll go. I don't have anything. I'm available to take her. I'll go. I'll spend 2 hours at Chuck E. Cheese awkwardly, just you know,
chatting
on
it
my
up.
phone or what, or playing with Phoebe, And so I did, and it was like, all right, and it was fine. She had a blast. So then the next day, Aaron had to go to, this was Sunday, Aaron had to go to Milwaukee for a bridal shower. So it's me and the kids. And I was like, we just paid for this pool membership. I'm taking the kids to the pool. We're going to the pool all day. And then
Yeah.
I remembered, oh, Duncan has his mathnasium tutoring thing at noon. All right. So we'll take him. And then at 1, I'll pick him up and we'll go straight to the pool. Perfect. So that's the plan. Right before I pick up Duncan, I get a calendar alert. It was like a reminder alert on the family calendar that was like, you know, Ellie's birthday party at 1:30 or
Oh,
whatever and I called Aaron. I was like, "Hey, what is this thing that just popped up on my phone? I don't know about that." And Aaron's like, "Oh shit, I totally forgot. I'm sorry. There's a present either in Phoebe's room or our room. You got to wrap it." And I was like, "Wait a minute, what? We have to go to this?" She's like, "Yeah, sorry, I RSVP'd. We got to go." So I had to go. I picked up Duncan. He's like, "All right, let's go to the pool." I was like, "Quick pit stop. We have to go to a children's birthday party for 2 hours." And so we did that. Anyway, my point is these birthday party. It doesn't matter how old your kid is. Just have it be a drop off. If you're gonna have a party for your kid,
oh,
just
wow.
say drop them off. You don't have to stay because both of these were not that scenario. I mean, the kids are in third, they're in kindergarten, but still, come
Yeah,
on.
I mean, like that's my question is because Ginger is still she's only 4. We've never had an invite to one that was just a drop off. Everyone, and I just assume that's an age thing, but every single one that she's been to has been like, no, not only do you don't drop her off, both of us have come to something like 2 parents show up.
Oof.
So now it's like more parents there than kids sometimes, and it becomes like a parent hang thing. But
Yeah.
what age? So what age do you think that's going to change? Like when do you start to
Uh,
see the drop off parties happen?
I don't know, but I think whatever age Phoebe is right now is the age. So I guess 6.
Kindergarten, 6.
Kindergarten, 6. At least by then. Maybe last year. But I mean these kids were fine.
Well, yeah, Chuck E. Cheese. If you have a thing like if it's a pool party or
But even if
I don't
it's at a house party, like if you have it at the house
know,
and
a
you have
house
games
is
signed
tough.
up lined up.
Yeah, but I mean it's your fault for having it at your house. But like kids going wild and like you have to, you know what I mean, watch after like 15 kids is a lot.
Then you know what? Then don't have a
Chuck E.
fucking party.
Cheese, yeah, I know. But Chuck E. Cheese, you can like let the kids go wild, and you don't really have to like corral them that much. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you could also have like 1 or 2 of your like closest friends stay to help.
Right. Yeah,
You know,
yeah, yeah.
obviously
Some
you're
parents
not.
are gonna want to stay because they're,
Yeah,
you know, nerds.
so drop off optional is what you're saying. Like
Right.
it could be a drop. Yeah, I'll back
That's
you
what
up.
yes.
Because I was thinking if I was throwing a party for Ginger and we had it at like so we had it at this like aerialist thing where they got to like climb on uh, they got to like kind of fly, like pretending to be like circus acrobat tricks, and they practiced like climbing up the ropes and all this stuff. And they didn't need we didn't need parents there at all because they were like teaching the kids this class, like so
Oh
the
yeah,
parents
yeah,
totally are, but all the parents stayed. But we also didn't say like, oh, if you want, you can get out. Like
yeah.
we didn't say anything either way. Yeah, that's a trick. The birthday party thing's so tricky. And like, man, you got 3 kids, so you just must be bombarded with these birthday parties.
And we are. In fact, yeah, we have another one. What is it? One of these. I don't know when it is. It's this weekend, next weekend. She's got another one, and I told Aaron, text the mom and ask if I can drop him off because Aaron's out of town for something, and I was like,
Yeah.
just ask if I can. Just ask if it's a drop off situation. So we'll see.
I mean, it's kind of aggressive to ask. I feel like.
Well, that's I. This is not my okay. Oh,
Is
it's
this
not a
drop?
drop off.
Wait,
Yeah, Phoebe can't make it. Phoebe can't make it.
is it a
We're
drop
out
off
of town.
situation? Yes. Okay, we're gonna be there about 3 hours early, and
Is it cool if
no
she hangs out a
gift.
little long too?
Yeah.
We're gonna kind of turn it into a date night for me and Aaron.
No, I'm backing you up. That's pretty good. And just have the birthday party in a situation where the kids can just run around for 2 hours and you don't need
Right.
parents there to supervise.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's what it is. The one whenever this next one is that Urban Air, which is like a, one of those trampoline parks.
oh, there you go. You don't
That's
need parents
fine.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta sit
Sign
on
the
my
waiver.
phone.
Sign
Yep.
the waiver. Get out of there for 2 hours.
Sign the waiver. Sign the waiver. Hey, who knows? Maybe she'll get lucky and need an electric wheelchair.
Yeah, tell her this is your big chance. You're never gonna have a better shot than a trampoline. That's the number one fucking supplier of electric wheelchairs this century. It's got to be trampolines and
Yeah.
motorcycles. So, all right. Well, you got anything else? Our Wi-Fi's crapping out on us
Yeah, it
again.
is shoddy. You know what?
Uh,
Can I before we're talking about trampolines real quick?
yeah,
So we tried to see Duncan can do backflips on the trampoline, and we always do
that's
this thing where I'll just throw him the football and he catches it. And that's our big activity. We recently, I was like, see if you can catch the football mid backflip,
ooh.
and he and we do it, and then he got it, and he could do it. And we're like, holy shit, we've been doing it so much. Guess what his record for how many consecutive backflip while catching the football tossed to him is?
Um, 6.
45. We did it today.
Wow,
45 in a row.
I love it.
So just
You
wanted
guys
to
should get.
flex
You
there.
should keep adding tricks to it, and you could be like an NBA halftime show.
Yeah, or a fucking who America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
Uh That's what I love is those shows. America's Got Talent. This skill that's like, whoa, I could never do that. Where the fuck would you ever do that other than
I
on
know.
this show?
I love like because like the whole prize of America's Got Talent is like you get a Vegas residency. But just how do you build like an hour show out of jumping on a trampoline, catching a football? You got to really build up to it. Get a lot of support, a lot of singers.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
that's it.
Good app.
Good app. Thank you everybody for listening. You got shows, Johnny? Let me
Yeah,
look
I'm
at
going to
this.
be at Dr. Grin's this coming weekend, June 12th through the 14th. And I'm at the Bend Theater the 11th.
Oh, you shouldn't
That's where
even.
we're doing our show. But I'm doing that. That's like a fundraiser for Alzheimer's. Did I say that right? With Charlie Barons and a bunch of
Yeah.
comics. So that's going to be really fun. That's on the 11th.
All right. Well, I will be on the 11th. I'll be at the Copper Mint Ale Brewery, something like that. These are all in the Portland area. Kiggins Theater in Vancouver on the 12th. Infinity Room in Salem on the 13th. And the Oak Knoll Winery on Saturday the 14th. Those are all in Portland adjacent. So if you have
Nice.
any of those shows, go get the album too, Untapped Potential, if you haven't already. And that's what happened? Are you moving us around?
I did that.
Yeah,
I just want to see if it would do it.
right on my big dismount. All right,
Sorry.
that's it. Thank you, everybody, for
Thank you
listening
for
to
listening to The
the
Cavalry.